Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As you can see by the title, we are doing a how to actually reinvent yourself for 2024 because people are going through things, times is rough, the housing market, jobs, everything is so hard right now. So people are really trying to figure out how can they get better at just what they like to do and who they are as a person. So it's really hard out here. So this is my 7 steps to how to reinvent yourself for 2024. My first step is to manifest. Keep your goals listed in a journal or in your notes or somewhere. Just like remind yourself daily of what you want to do, the type of person you want to become. Like just make sure you have like a vision board or something to just keep your daily reminder or who you want to be or what you're trying to achieve in 2024. So it's like I'm a visual learner. So the things I learn is from what I see. If I don't see it, then it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So I have my vision board on my notes, then I have it on my lock screen, then I have it in my journal. Like I have a lot of stuff written down all over the place just so I can visually see what I'm trying to manifest. Like even on my news feeds, I don't follow people who just gossip and post about fights and all this other unnecessary stuff. My newsfeed is literally only filled with things that I want to manifest, that I want to be, that I want to do, that I'm trying to achieve, that like things to look up to. I'm not inserting myself into like drama or just negative, low vibrational energy. Like you want to uplift yourself and make sure that you're surrounding yourself with good things just so you can stay on the right path. It's like, what does they say? Birds of a feather flock together. So if you don't like keep yourself aligned with the things you want to do, you're going to fall off eventually or in some way or stray from that path because you just have so many other things that's like distracting you from the straightforward goal. So to avoid any of that, like, what's that called? Misdirection or detours, just make sure you cleanse all that of everything. Make sure you write down your goals, write down your goals, cleanse your social media of anything you don't need, people that don't interact with you, things on your feed that doesn't really interest you anymore or doesn't align with your goals or who you're trying to be in the future. That's what you kind of cleanse from that. So just keep your life aligned with where you're trying to go. Like they say, be the person who you want to be in the future today. So you have to like, kind of be Delulu and like put yourself in the position to be that person just so the steps you'll take, you'll eventually become that person because you're already starting hobbies and habits to change your lifestyle by, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Second thing on this list is to have faith or keep God first. I know a lot of people don't, believe in a religion or they have a different religion. So I'm not going to just say God. It can be any religion that it is, but have just something you have faith in, even if it's yourself or your goals. Have faith in something more than today. Just don't think about getting through today. Have faith in having bigger goals. Have faith in, something is looking out for you, caring for you, and you can get where you want to go because, you're not being selfish by focusing on yourself. Even if people tell you that, because I know a lot of times people think like, oh, they're not worried about anybody else, they're only worried about themselves, that's selfish. But it's like not all the time that's a selfish thing. Sometimes worrying about yourself is the best thing to do because how can you help somebody else if you're down in the dumps and in the gutter? And it's like that doesn't make any sense. You have to make sure you're good and able to help anybody else. So if somebody calls you selfish for not helping them out or not wanting to help people out or listen to their problems or whatever the situation is, pay them no mind. They're actually selfish for not giving you the time and the energy to build, to share with them, to deal and handle their problems. So it's like, I'm not selfish. You're selfish because I don't have the capacity to deal with what you're trying to force me to deal with right now. Once I have that, I can willingly help you, but you can't force that situation. So have faith, keep God first, and make sure all that extra icky icky stuff, keep it out of your way. You don't need anybody telling you that what you're trying to do isn't for you or it's wrong for you or you're being selfish or you're doing too much. No, this is what you want. So just make sure that you stay aligned with your goals. Have faith that they're going to work out. And that's it. You don't need anybody to support you. You don't need any fans. Just make sure that you go hard in the paint for what you're trying to do. That's it. And that leads on to my third point is you got to be a little delulu and like really, really, really believe in yourself more than anybody else has believed in anything in their life. Like, you know how some people believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and ghosts and demons and all that? You have to believe in what you're trying to do just as much. Like, even if like people don't see the vision, if they don't see where you're going, as long as you see the vision, you're perfectly fine, because you, even if you don't know how to get there, you're going to figure it out. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to go through pros and cons and what not to do and what you should do and then what you should do next time. And it's going to be a lot of ups and downs in entrepreneurship. Even if you're working a 9 to 5, like, it doesn't matter where you are in life. You're going to have to be a little bit delusional to actually make sure that you're staying on where you're trying to go. Because even like I said on my first point, you have to manifest who you're trying to be. So if you don't put yourself in the position to learn the habits and the lifestyle and, you know, go the day to day from the person that you want to be, from the person you are, you'll never get there. And this is why they say you have to act like the person you want to be today, because it's like, it's not really a change in habits, it's a change in lifestyle. You have to change your whole life to become a whole nother person. You have to change habits and mindsets, and it's a whole bunch of things that comes along with being a different person that's a level up from who you were before. So as long as you take the right steps, nobody can tell you that you're wrong. Nobody can tell you that you're going in the wrong direction. You have to believe that it's right. And as long as, you know, you take the right steps, you're going to make it there. Like I said, be a little bit delusional, not too much. Don't be out here lying like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and you know you're nowhere close. But be a little delusional as far as having more confidence than you might actually have. I know a lot of people out here have a God complex and way more confidence than some people think they should have, but in reality, you have to be a little delusional in this world to make it to where you want to be, because if you are, then like psychologically you'll start making those moves to become that person, and then other people are going to start believing like, oh wait, like they're actually doing what they said they were doing. So it's like it's a domino effect that's going to lead back to you actually being the person you said you are or want it to be, if you continue down the right path. So yeah, point number 3. And point number 4 is new hobbies. So if you can find some new hobbies that align with the goals that you have, that is perfect. Even if it doesn't align with some goals, they can provide some peace, some happiness, something outside of your goals they can align with, but they don't always have to be straightforward with something you're working towards. But you can find some new hobbies that you've never experienced before. Find something new to do so you can experience something new and say, okay, I like this, I don't like this, let me try something else. This is all about trying new things, exploring your options, and just exploring the world just to see what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you like and what you don't like. So some hobbies you might do is like painting, walks, you know, exploring the neighborhood, swimming, tennis. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do. I learned how to paint. I have a million books on my bookshelf. Some of them I haven't even touched yet. But one of the hobbies I want to get into is actually reading a book weekly or daily, or finishing a book actually. But I got into painting. I got into learning how to podcast and YouTube. I don't think those are really hobbies. Those are like things I just learned how to do and got good at. But painting is a hobby. You can do like, I don't know, swimming, tennis, just going for runs and walks, like just getting creative with yourself. Find a hobby that kind of aligns with being at peace with yourself, making you feel calm, where you don't have to think about anything else, where you don't have to think about work and home and any type of stress. Just find a hobby that takes you away from the world, where you feel good and even passionate about. That's how you find the passion, when you get into a hobby that you really love and you're really good at, and you just fall into it with ease. Like, it can be anything. So just explore a lot of creative opportunities out there, because there are so many, and that would pretty much unlock your potential to being who you want to be, because you're not restricting yourself to doing one thing and just saying, oh, this is what I have to do, this is where I know I'm good at. Like, there's so many things out here that you can do. So don't stick to one thing. You can be good at 10, 15 things and then do all of them and make a career out of all of them. So just know, so many things out here for you guys to do. Point 5 is self-care. And I say, if you look good, you feel good. Even if you don't feel good after you look good, it somewhat puts you in a good mood when you're looking good. So self-care is very, 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 very important. I don't care what anybody says. Take a day out of the week. And if you can't take a day out of the week, take an hour out of any day, 30 minutes out of any day, 15 minutes. It doesn't matter how much time. Any free time you have, do something nice for yourself. Listen to some relaxing music. Go take a bubble bath with some candles. Go for a nice walk. Buy yourself some flowers. Do a face mask. Do your hair. Turn your phone on D&D. Don't have anybody disturb you. Self-care is very important. If you do not take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anybody else. And that is the main thing that is revolving around reinventing yourself. You have to take care of yourself in the best way possible. That's it. Make sure your mind is right, your body is right, physical, mental, spiritual, everything. You don't have to do it all at one time, but just take baby steps into making sure you're okay. Do things that make you feel good. Even if you have to buy yourself a little, pizza or go to Sephora and get some makeup, even if it's just one thing, do something nice for yourself at least once a week, at least once a month, just to make you feel like you're appreciated. Like, do something nice. Self-care is the best thing to do. And I say, one of the things that you can do for self-care is just have a nighttime routine or a morning time routine or some type of routine that you feel that you can implement in your day-to-day basis, that you can say, okay, this is how I take care of myself in this aspect. Okay, when I wake up in the morning, I don't rush. I don't open my phone. I just go straight into the bathroom and I, look at myself. I wash my face. I do this. I make breakfast and then I check my messages. Like, that's some type of self-care. Self-care can be going to the gym. Self-care can be buying yourself something. Self-care can be just having your phone on D&D and do not disturb, and you like nobody texting you for 15 minutes or an hour. Self-care is literally thinking about yourself and making sure you're okay. So it doesn't matter what you like consider self-care, it still matters, and you should do it at least once a week, once a month, somewhat frequently, so you don't feel like you're draining yourself going to work and taking care of kids and family and other things like that. Like, take care of yourself, and then eventually you'll get to a point where you're doing this every day and it's a routine, and you won't have to think about taking care of yourself. Your self-care would be a routine. It's going to be something that you have to do every day. If you don't do this, then you don't feel good. So that's what self-care is. My sixth point is, don't rush anything. Take baby steps. So what I mean by that is literally what it sounds like. Don't rush anything. You have to take it slow. If you feel like that you have to push yourself to a certain point to get there, honestly, that is the complete opposite of what the law of attraction tells you to do. So the law of attraction tells you, yes, you have to manifest what you want and take steps towards that, but you're not supposed to force it. You're supposed to give that idea out into the universe, let it go, but still work your way towards that goal, and then eventually you'll get there with a blessing. But some people feel like if they work tirelessly towards a goal and they have to skip steps and they're trying to do this and do that and do this and do that, that's not necessarily going to work out for you, especially in the aspect of reinventing yourself. Like, you have to make sure that you think about your traumas, you think about like things you went through, things you might go through. You have to think about a lot of aspects in your life. So don't rush anything. You have to figure out what you like, what you don't like. Like, some people are 30, 40, 50 years old and still don't know what they like and what they don't like, and then they finding other things in life that they like, and it's like, we're in our 20s or teens or early 30s and we're exploring a lot of things. So they're looking at us and like we're wild and crazy. And it's like, no, we're having the freedom to explore things, and we're not rushing to get married at fucking 20 years old, 19 years old, 15 years old just to have a family and a stable house. Like, we have the opportunity to explore and be ourselves and do what we want to do, because in this new generation, things are changing. We're not forced to have to buy a house to have kids. That, like, we don't have that white picket fence, American dream, fantasy that everybody has, because we're realizing that's not a real reality with how things are trying to like come about. So with that, I'm saying never rush anything. You don't have to try to rush being successful in the business. You don't have to rush having kids and being in a family. You don't have to rush your healing journey. Don't rush anything, because you still have to figure out what is right for you. And there's no rush to that. So just explore as much things as you can. As soon as you figure out you don't like it, move on to the next idea. And my last point is that you have to meet the universe halfway. And I feel like I kind of like said this and implemented this in my couple other points, but you have to take the steps towards doing what you want to do and in doing what you need to do to get where you want to get. And my mom always said, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And I understood that, but to a certain extent. And it's like, you literally have to do what you need to do, what you got to do. So in the end, you can just relax and you don't have to worry about anything because you're successful off of the things that you already did. It's like, this is a simple way as I could put it. If your mom tells you, okay, after you clean your room, then you can play the game. But you're like, okay, I'll only play the game for this amount of time and then I'll clean my room after. Cool. Now, like, all right, so if I explain it properly, I fucked up on that. But if I explain it properly, it's like if you had cleaned your room first and then went to the game, you would have unlimited time to play the game. But the fact that you decided to play the game first, you're going to only have a limited time to play the game before you have to get back to work and clean your room. And you don't know how long that's going to take. So the fact that you did that first, you had fun first and went second and did the work second, is why things aren't working for you. So the fact I'm saying is make sure you clean your room first and then get on the game. Don't just say, I'm going to do this later. I'm going to put it aside. I'm just going to have fun now, because that's not how things are going to work in the future. Life is getting harder out here. We're getting older. Things are not getting easier. The world is not saying, here you go. You've done a lot of work. You deserve it. No, the world is saying you have to work harder and figure out other ways to get it, because things are changing. We're not just going to give you anything you want. So you have to actually work for it. And I'm saying that to say, you have to put the work in to get what you want. You cannot just expect things to come to you at all, ever. Things don't just come to people. Yes, people say, oh, I got good luck, things just flow to me, but that's because they're actually either taking little or big steps in the direction that they're supposed to be taking them in to get towards their goal. So naturally, with the law of attraction, as we say, is going to come your way. If you're teaching yourself how to swim, going to the pool every day, you're taking the steps to learn how to swim. Eventually, you're going to know how to deep dive and hold your breath for a certain amount of time, if that's what you were manifesting. So yes, your goal was to learn how to hold your breath for 30 seconds and get to the bottom of a 6 feet pool, but you had to learn how to swim first. So if you didn't take the steps to get to the pool to learn how to swim, you would have never reached that goal. So my point is, you definitely have to put yourself in a position to get to the goal that you want. You can't just say, oh, I want to get married, but you don't go outside, you don't text anybody, you don't do anything, you don't, like, that's never going to happen. In what world does that happen? Never. You have to take the steps towards what you want to get what you want. I understand that people think manifesting is just writing down something in a journal or saying, I wish, but no, it's not. It's you putting yourself in the position to get what you think you deserve and want, and God or the universe or luck or coincidence, whatever you want to call it, meets you halfway, and you collide or you clash, and you can say, oh my God, this just happened for me. So in the end, that's all it takes. So I hope you guys liked my video. I felt like it was very informative, and you guys can leave any comment down below, because there's going to be another video coming up that I think you guys are really, really, really going to love. But if you have any comments, questions, anything, any side comments, just let me know down in the comments down below, and we can discuss what you guys think I was up or down about. But that's what I think it takes to reinvent yourself for 2024. These are things that I think personally I've done to help me get better in life, not just for 2024, but in 2023, 2022, 2017. Like, these are things that I actually had to implement in my own life to say, okay, I'm ready to be a better person. I'm ready to move on and do bigger things for myself. So just let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share to your friends just so I know how they feel about it too. And yeah, bye guys. Just say you will.